I'm really bad about taking long poops.
I think everybody is because we've got our phones and we're like,
Yeah.
just gonna go ahead and finish this level of Candy Crush.
Most of the time I call it my research lab
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm doing most of my Tether radio research.
That's why it's so shitty. But
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tether Radio Podcast, the only podcast keeping you from spiraling out into the infinite abyss. And that's relative, by the way, in these times. I'm your host, Daniel, and I'm joined, as always, by Allie.
what's up?
What's up? I figured I needed to throw an asterisk in there.
Dude, I know. I feel like everybody is just like disconnected or like just, I don't know, just in this like funk, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, even going out, like, Jesse and Allie came over and we basically stood like 6 feet apart and just had a conversation from our porch while Jesse and Allie are standing on the sidewalk. So, and just shot the shit for a while. And man, it's just really weird because, you know, you see everybody, we saw plenty of people walking by and everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, like that, I know that one woman that came down or whatever totally, you know, got into the road to like avoid getting close to everybody and then comes up the other side of the sidewalk coming back. So it was kind of interesting. But no, it's just shit. This is like one of these things that it's gone on to the like long enough to start really like getting under people's skin kind of thing.
Yeah, and like it doesn't feel like anyone's getting used to it. If anything, we're getting weirder.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
Which
Like
my folks were actually talking about that. Like
Oh yeah?
my dad, I don't understand how he's even made it this far because he's used to traveling probably around anywhere between 200 and 400 miles a day. Like driving to different customers and stuff.
Yeah.
And at this point, dude, he doesn't leave the house except for, you know, maybe once a week kind of thing. And so I can't believe that he hasn't just, well, I can't believe my mom hasn't like murder suicided like yet. So. But
no, man, like I'm having these like really realistic dreams, but they're just mundane shit from like before the world ended.
Yeah.
So like I dream about like going and sitting at Starbucks and reading, and I'm like, that is the saddest thing.
Well, like when we were talking to our friends on House Party yesterday, they were like, dude, we can't wait. Like she was having Nicole was having a margarita.
Yeah.
And she's like, dude, like, you know, obviously it's a homemade margarita. It's okay, whatever.
It's not
But
the
she was,
same.
yeah. And she was like, dude, I can't wait until, you know, we can sit at a effing table and have drinks and shoot the shit and not have to worry about like whatever, like not being too close and like, you know, just all of this underlying stress, I think is like completely getting to me.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the baseline level of stress these days has been upped to a point to where it's like uncomfortably, you know, it's uncomfortably normal. So.
Yeah. And everybody is on edge. Like if you go to the grocery store, everybody is just like tense.
And just like mean mugging.
Yeah,
and,
like I feel if someone dropped a can in the grocery store, everyone would just like freak the fuck out. You know?
No shit, dude. No shit. I told Megan, and I know that this is probably a bit excessive, but I was like, dude, I think next time I go to the grocery store, I'm going to take a knife. Like,
dude, I don't blame you.
Just
like,
because, like, people are fucking on edge, you know? But it's funny that you would mention dreams, though, because I actually have this down to talk about a little bit.
Oh, God.
So I am going to say that our opener for this episode, which we are at episode 96 now, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's awesome. The opener for this one is probably going to be a lot of rambling and anecdotes and stuff because we have just had some really weird shit happen around our house lately.
Yeah?
And I kind of want to put it down in this recording because in case something happens in the future, kind of
What?
thing.
Like, do you
So
think your house is haunted? No, I
I
don't want to spoil your stuff. Let's hear
no,
about
but dude, you are on the fucking right track. But before
it.
I get into that, the dream stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have a recurring dream now for the
Oh, I
people.
hate those.
Yes, and the people that know me, which Allie I think has seen this bar trick. I was born well. My adult eye teeth, which are the teeth that are directly beside your two front teeth,
Yeah.
I didn't have them. They didn't develop. And so I ended up when I was in middle school and like my teeth were falling out and all that stuff and making room for my adult teeth.
Yeah.
I had to get braces and then I had to get basically fake teeth. And now I've got what the hell is it called? A partial. That's what it's
Dude,
called.
I did not know that. No. Nope. Didn't know that at
What?
all. Uh-uh.
I thought that I'd flip my teeth out for you before.
No, I would remember that.
Oh, holy shit, dude. Remind me to, and I will.
No,
But,
thank you.
but anyway, so I've always had this thing about my teeth.
Yeah.
And like I've been very, like, just concerned about them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I have this recurring stress dream of literally either teeth falling out
Yes.
or like I the one last night was for some reason I was grinding my teeth but I knew I was grinding my teeth and it was like some kind of stressful situation and like the crown on one of my molars just completely like dissolves.
Oh, God.
And I was like, I could feel it with my tongue that there
Yeah.
was a tooth that was supposed to be there, but it wasn't.
I used to have these dreams where my teeth were falling out, and like every
Yeah.
time it was so realistic. And in the dream, I would go, "Oh no, this one's not a dream. This is for real."
And no, exactly. And so, like, in between, like, being asleep and
Yeah.
being completely awake, I start, like, using my tongue to feel around in my mouth. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, God, it's really gone. It's really
Yeah.
gone. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Thank God my tooth is still there.
Yeah, I would like in the dreams, I would like catch them as they fell out and like keep them in my pocket, hoping I could like get the dentist to put
Yeah.
them back or something.
Yeah, which this is the shit thing is before I had this partial that is it's a permanent partial kind of thing in the sense of I can use it forever or I can
Right.
get implants at some point.
Yeah.
But Megan said that she thought my boobs were plenty big, so anyway, so,
Wow.
no, but anyway, so I actually did go through a bunch of temporary partials because of my bite. My bottom canines would wear away at the little thing that connected the tooth to my partial,
Yeah.
and the teeth would break off. So like, there's kind of some reality.
Yeah, at
mixed
least
up
you
in all
have
of this.
I have no reason to have had those dreams. I had them for years.
Yeah.
And I think it was somehow related to the specific place I worked because
Yeah.
once I stopped working there, I never had that dream again.
Oh, that is weird.
Really weird.
Like specifically the teeth thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's super weird.
Now I have this recurring, like not the whole dream, but just like a theme, a dream theme, if you will, where when there's anything like stressful or like a high, I don't know, like high stakes or something,
Yeah.
I have like no voice. Like I can't talk, or if I can talk, it's
weird.
really, really quiet, but I need to be able to yell.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating because like,
Oh my God.
and in the dream, it'll be like, I don't know, like a really heated argument with someone.
Uh-huh.
And I just like can't even squeak out a sound.
Yeah.
And it's, or like I need to yell for help and like nothing comes out. It's
Yeah.
really frustrating.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, I've had some like, whatever, almost like night terror shit to
Mhm.
where, you can't scream and all that.
Yeah.
And it's freaky.
Yeah.
Um,
Ugh.
so I had another dream also last night. I mean, like, dude, I don't know what happened between yesterday and today, but
Yeah.
like, fuck, man, my mind was on like a rampage of just stress. So, basically the dream started that like my ear, like I had it, my left ear was like clogged kind of
Oh.
thing, or like I couldn't hear out of it really well.
Yeah.
And so I started like digging in my ear,
Oh
and I
no.
realized that there's like something in there. And I was like, what the hell? So I get tweezers and I'm like
No.
trying to look into the bathroom mirror kind of
Do
thing.
not tweeze your ears.
Dude, so I pulled a fucking bug, like
No.
this big ass, like centipede looking kind of thing out of my fucking ear
There's a
in my
bug
dream.
called an earwig. You know about that, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
And maybe so, but I was
Ugh.
just like, oh my God, because I thought that I would just need to like clean my ears or something
Yeah.
like that, you know. But that one was just like fucking weird. I think I've just watched too many botfly videos or something at this point.
Man, I had a story about dreams that I was gonna bring up, and
Uh,
then I didn't put my notes on it, but I just pulled it back up, and
uh,
it's from Vox, and it's
uh,
pretty much just saying like, yeah, a lot of people are having crazy dreams specifically right now
mhm.
because like our sleep habits are off a little bit. We're not sleeping super well,
Yeah,
and like I don't know. I didn't really do my
yeah.
research on it because it was kind of a flop of a story, but
Oh, really?
it kind of just says like being stressed can affect your dreams.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
yep.
that makes sense. That makes sense. My
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. What else did I want to cover? Oh, for a suggestion, for entertainment, Megan and I just started, How to Fix a Drug Scandal on Netflix.
Yeah, I my boss at work was saying that was really good too.
Dude, it is fucking wild.
Good, good.
It is really like, so real quick anecdote about, because this kind of has a place near and dear to my heart, because one of my rotations when I was in pharmacy school was with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse.
Yeah.
And so I got to go to the like courtroom hearing or whatever, the hearing stuff for pharmacists that had been charged with like basically abuse of,
Oh, cool.
all this different stuff, and
Yeah.
like hear these people talk about their cases.
Yeah.
And like, dude, it was wild because I'm like sitting there looking at a person that's talking about taking like close to like 100 Lortab a day
Oh my God.
kind of thing. And that like they're like, oh yeah, I got up to the point to where, it's hard to hide that kind of habit. And I'm like,
You don't
what?
say.
Yeah, it was just fucking bizarre. But the reason I
Wow.
was talking about that is because pretty much the first episode talks about this, the which I'm assuming this is going to be centered around this woman.
Yeah.
But
I think there's two women, I think, that are the
oh, okay.
subjects of it. I'm not certain though.
Gotcha. Well, what this one woman was talking about how she was basically responsible for testing all of these substances for these
Yeah.
investigations, and it was like 30,000 plus investigations or something like that she was involved in,
Yeah.
and she was just like fucking taking some of the shit that she was testing.
I am too I'm too much of a dork. Like I cannot. I would be too worried to just blindly be like, gonna try some of this.
Well, I just know that I always get caught. Period.
That too.
Like it's, I mean, I wouldn't even try it because I always get fucking caught.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like people could just see through me or what, but
I'm
but
not a
I'm
good liar,
terrible.
so I just avoid lying.
Yeah, exactly. I put my
Yeah.
efforts into other endeavors that I could succeed in. So, but anyway, so far so good. Definitely would recommend it to anyone because it was. I mean, it's been really good obviously we've only seen one episode, but
Yeah.
like it was really good. So,
There's a new show coming out on Netflix, I think Wednesday, called The Innocence Files,
uh-huh.
and it kind of talks about like people that have been wrongfully convicted and stuff like that. It sounds like it's going to be pretty cool.
Huh, rock and roll. And
Yeah.
you said that was on Netflix
Yeah,
also.
it's Netflix. They don't usually release stuff on weekdays, so
Mm.
Wednesday seems weird, but that's what I heard was the date.
Huh. All right.
Huh.
Well, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out, and you said it's
Yeah.
called The Innocents.
Yeah, The Innocence Files.
Oh,
So that'll
Innocence
be
Files.
the
Gotcha.
day this episode goes live, the
Yeah.
15th. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So something else that I wanted to talk about a little bit, and you've actually seen this, right?
Uh-oh.
Contagion.
No, I've not.
Oh, I thought you said you had.
No, I like pandemic stuff, but I
Yeah.
usually read the books and I don't really watch movies.
Gotcha.
You know how
Okay.
I am.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Gwyneth Paltrow died at the very beginning, and
Oh,
so I was good with that, just
off
because
to a good start.
the Goop stuff has really kind of made me not like her much anymore. So,
That damn candle.
yeah,
Ugh.
but no. So, my brother told me to watch it because he was like, "Dude, I feel like Contagion is one of these movies that people will go back to revisit during all this stuff because I think it came out in
Oh,
2013."
I didn't realize it was that recent. Okay.
Yeah, let me double check real quick.
Yeah, I keep going to this book Wanderers that I've talked up a million times because I just
Mm,
loved it. But
hmm.
it was kind of a pandemic. Basically people started sleepwalking, but like you couldn't wake them up.
Oh,
And
weird.
so people started like following their loved ones as they sleepwalked, and like you're wondering like what's going to come of it. And there's a lot of like different perspectives you see. So there's like a a private militia that forms, and
Uh,
there's like a big time like televangelist that's a whole thing.
yeah,
It was so good.
that sounds super
You
interesting.
should that I just told you the other day it's like 3.99 on Kindle right now, and it's
Yeah,
so good. It's 800 pages, but it really doesn't feel like it. Like you
Jesus.
want to keep reading it.
I can't do that. 800 pages, my
It
God.
doesn't
I won't finish it till 2021, man.
it reads pretty quick, like because
Gotcha.
you can't put it down.
Yeah.
But I was telling Jesse, and I said, this is gonna sound awful of me, but like all this COVID-19 stuff, like not to just be, well, it could be worse, but like
Mhm.
in Wanderers, they find out pretty quick that if you try to like stop these people from like their slow walk, they
Yeah.
explode.
Oh my
So
God.
they tried to like restrain somebody and
Yeah.
figured that out the hard way.
Holy shit. That's
And
insane.
that's like a very small spoiler because that's pretty early on. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, like from a biomedical point of view, this COVID stuff could be a lot grosser.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and it could be. I mean, hell, dude, it could be a
Ebola or
lot more. Yeah,
something.
it could be a lot
Yeah.
more virulent, or
Yeah.
just anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like these days we kind of really just have to count our
I
blessings.
know.
It's like, well, at least the world's not exploding.
Right? Or the people
So,
are not. I mean,
yeah, yeah. At least we're not, we don't have a meteor that's headed toward us, that's going to take out like a third of the population or something. So,
yeah.
but so coming back to Contagion, I
Yeah.
just looked it up. It's actually 2011,
Okay.
but whatever, 9 years.
Yeah.
But the weird thing, so full disclosure, I wasn't that big of a fan of it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the movie, which I'm sure I've named this a zillion times on here, but it's called Outbreak. And it's got Dustin Hoffman. I can't remember what the lady's name is. That's like the other lead.
Yeah.
But dude, it is just so good. It is so well done, and I haven't seen it recently. Pretty sure it's from the mid '90s, so I don't know if it really holds up. Um, but this one, the thing that really fascinated me the most about Contagion was the weird parallels
Yeah.
between it and literally what we're fucking experiencing right now.
I've heard a lot of people say like that's part of why it's so popular now is because it's got a lot of like kind of overlap.
Yeah, well, and even on IMDb, which I don't know how I'm assuming the popularity ranking is like how much it gets searched or something like that.
I don't know how they, I don't know.
But it got knocked. It was at number 2, and now it's down to number 4.
Oh wow.
So I mean, obviously, people are fucking revisiting this shit.
Yeah.
But the one of the things that jumped out the most to me in regards to the parallels between Contagion and the COVID stuff is I have never heard the term social distancing until we were dealing with this stuff, this current pandemic.
Yeah.
And dude, they're throwing that around like that's like their big mitigation strategy in Contagion is to socially distance kind
Right.
of thing. And I just thought that was kind of weird because that term just fucking popped up out of nowhere, I feel
Yeah.
like.
I thought it came out, from all of this.
Well, yeah, and I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not saying that it came from Contagion, but like, it's just weird that they used that specific term 9 years ago, in a pandemic movie, and all of a sudden we're dealing with a real pandemic, and that's an actual strategy that they're using, kind of
It
thing.
makes you wonder if like the WHO, if somebody was like, I don't know, I've got this phrase in the back of my mind, not sure where it came from. Social distancing.
Yeah, no shit,
And
dude.
it's just from the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and see, that's something else that absolutely creeps me out about movies.
Yeah.
Is that they have, when they're doing the writing and development of these movies, they have people that they pull in from, WHO,
Oh yeah.
CDC, all these consultants to be like, hey, we want to get this shit right.
Yeah.
Like, what is, and so that's why like I think like sci-fi and stuff kind of freaks me out a little bit more
Oh
than it
yeah.
probably should.
Yeah.
Is because it's like, dude, there is nothing new under the sun, and like it's these are things that are probably just like if we ended up in a scenario like that,
Yeah.
they would probably be proposed as like solutions kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Man, like in Wanderers, I seriously like so much of it. I was like, I could see this happening. I could see this happening. Like,
Yeah.
and each chapter, the chapters are fairly short, and each chapter starts with like an epigraph
Yeah.
from a Reddit post or a Twitter thread or something. And they're not real people, but then
Yeah.
every now and then, like, I think they used Jake Tapper as one, and like, but they made up a quote from him.
Yeah, yeah.
But they all felt so real that I'd be like, wait, what's this from? And I'm like, no, this is also fiction. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I could see. And it was
That's
really
just
cool to see
bizarre.
those little snippets of, because right now you could go to Reddit and get a pretty decent quote from someone that, really makes you think about all this,
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Pretty cool.
Totally, yeah. But I didn't really have a whole lot else to say about Contagion. It was just it is I would recommend it, not that it's like a fucking fantastic movie by any stretch. I thought it
Yeah.
was pretty good kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like honestly, I would agree with it's sitting at a 6.7 on IMDb. I'd probably give it a 6.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, I also own the movie Monstered, so like clearly my standards are relative.
Love to know that you paid American dollars to buy Monster.
I did do that. But the good thing is, I think it was less than $10, so and free shipping. So.
Great.
So the last thing that I wanted to mention before we kind of get into the meat of the episode,
Yeah.
is some weird shit that has been happening around the house, and I don't know if it's just like Megan and I have seen too many like horror movies, or like something is actually afoot.
Overactive imagination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And stop me if have I mentioned anything about this on the podcast? Do you know?
I don't think so, because I don't
Okay.
think I've heard you mention any of it at all. So
Okay.
definitely not on here.
Okay, because I think I was telling my brother about it,
Mm.
but anyway, so there were a few nights ago, Megan and I, we both heard something in the hallway right outside of our bedroom,
Yeah.
and our hallway, like when you walk down it, if you hit certain spots, it'll creak, and it totally sounded like somebody was like walking, like coming toward our door down the hallway kind of thing
Uh,
because we both heard it.
yeah.
And see, that's the thing that has been creeping me out the most is the
Yeah.
fact that like she heard it and I heard it. We didn't say anything to either each other.
Yeah.
And we're both just staring at the doorway because we sleep with our door open so we can hear Finn.
Yeah.
And and we were both just staring at the doorway waiting for something to like come around. And like no shit, I was staring at the doorway for probably, and this was like I said, like 3-4 nights ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just staring at the doorway, and so I'm stared at for like 5 minutes, something like that. And when something never comes, then I'm like, okay, now I gotta pee. So I get up and I go downstairs, and of course it's like fucking like 3:15 or something
Okay.
like that. And I'm like, okay, well, simple math. This puts it right around 3 a.m., which is
The witching
very,
hour.
which is very well known as the witching hour kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I don't like that one bit. And so I get a drink and I go upstairs and I get back in bed. Like 30 minutes later, Finn just starts shrieking.
No.
Yeah. And I'm talking about like, as in like, he's being attacked kind of thing. Like he's just like,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like, oh no, I don't
You're
like
like, it's
that.
back. It got my son.
Yeah, And so we're like, I don't want to rush in there because we don't want to start this thing of like Finn thinking that he can get up and scream for 2 seconds and we're going to rush in.
Oh man, I
Ain't
would
gonna
fall for
happen.
that. I would be like, "What's wrong?" and I would run in there.
So what we do is we get the monitor.
Yeah.
And he's just staring, or no, I'm sorry. So this was at like 3:30, and earlier in the night when we had just put him down to bed,
Yeah.
he was spazzing in the same manner.
Okay.
And I shit you not, I had to go in because Megan's back was fucked up.
Oh yeah.
And I get him and I'm like, hey buddy, is everything? And he's going, and he keeps pointing over at the fucking bathroom door.
Nope, don't like that.
Dude, no, it's just like, okay, so that happened earlier on in the night. Then this other shit happened, and then he starts shrieking again at like 3:45 or something like that. And I'm just like, all right, dude, I cannot deal with this. I can't do this. And so I was exhausted the whole fucking next day.
Yeah.
And so recently, and by recently I mean last night, so this is coming out on the 15th. I'm actually referring to the night of the 11th.
Yeah.
So I decided to stay up and watch some speed runs on my computer, and Megan went to bed.
Wait, what are speed runs?
Sorry, it's a gaming thing that people will take video games and literally try to beat them as quick as possible.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But anyway, so that's normally my nighttime activity to let my brain shut off and then
That
I'll go
would
to
stress
bed.
me out. That would wake me up more.
Well, since I'm not playing, it doesn't stress me out.
Oh,
But-
okay.
But anyway, so I whatever watch speed run and I come upstairs and I'm walking down the hall, and as soon as I turn to go into our bedroom, I smell what smells like a dead rodent
Ugh.
kind of thing. And I don't know if you're familiar with like ghost lore and all of this stuff, but like a lot of people will smell rotten meat
Ew, no, I didn't know
there's
that.
when there's like something present.
Ugh.
And so I like walk through this thing, and I mean, I'm not that I'd felt like I was walking through something. I just smelled something,
Yeah.
and I got to the side of the bed, and I was like, "Well, that was weird," and I didn't like the fact that smelled like a dead mouse or something.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And so I walked back and could not smell it again. And I was just like, I told Megan about this morning, and she was like, fuck you. Fuck you. Don't ever tell me about this shit. She's like, I'm sitting here. I've got like goosebumps. Like, I don't
Oh,
like this one bit. We both heard shit. And that was another thing that fucking happened last night. We
yeah,
both heard what sounded like somebody entering our house last night.
yeah, yeah.
And I mean, like, I didn't say anything to Megan. I was like, what did you hear? And she was like, it sounded like somebody like came through a door. And I was like, that is the exact same thing that I fucking heard.
Well, it's been real,
So,
but you're gonna get killed by a phantom ghost or
dude,
something. I don't know, man.
no, but it was just it's just been really weird, and they always talk about, and I'll always go back to the movie The Conjuring because I
Yeah.
thought it was done really well, even though Ed and Lorraine, whatever their last name, I'm pretty sure they've been like debunked time and time again. What the fuck is their last
Oh,
name?
it's based on something real?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ed and Lorraine, let's see, Warren. That's what it is. Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Huh.
You ought to check it out if you want to get the heebie-jeebies
Yeah, making myself a
going.
note.
But anyway, so but there's like all this stuff about how like kids are like a lot more open to experiencing this stuff because they don't have like the doubt that adults do and all this all this
Yeah,
jazz.
yeah.
And like it's just been really fucking weird. We're all cramped up. I know that like emotions are like going crazy and shit. I know that Finn is like kind of spastic these days. And I'm just like, dude, what in the fuck is going on?
Wait, so you said
So,
that was like 3:15, 3:30 this morning, right?
no, that the screeching thing, or screeching thing, the door stuff. I don't know when that occurred because I basically heard it looked at the door again for about 5 minutes and then tried to go back to
Oh,
sleep.
okay, okay.
The 3 o'clock stuff was, the 3 o'clock stuff was when, or let's see, that was when we heard something walking in the hall,
So,
kind of thing.
I bet I know what it was.
Uh,
It was probably the Easter Bunny.
oh, thank God. There's some demonic fucking bunny walking around my
It
house.
is Easter,
It is Easter. It is
but
Easter.
it's the bunny from Donnie Darko. It's Frank.
Oh, God, great. Frank, get the fuck out of my house. But anyway, I just wanted to
Man,
mention that shit because it was
have it
really
on the record.
creepy. Yeah, it was really creepy and just like, I don't know. There's just been a lot of weird noises and shit around the house. So,
Man, I don't like that.
yeah,
The
it's
other
just
day, I was working from
weird.
home and Jesse's still having to go in, and
Hmm.
uh, so it's just me and the cat, and
Yeah.
he's glued to my side all the time. So he was right here,
Yeah.
and I heard a pretty significant crash
Yeah.
inside the house, and it was somewhere pretty close to me, but I couldn't figure out what the fuck it was. And I
And the
went
cat
like,
was with you?
yeah, the cat was with me. No one else was home, and I was like, what
Yeah.
was that? So, and it's the middle of the day. I mean, it's like 10 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like creeping around the house looking for it, and it like startled him too. Like, so he's following me around. He's like, "What is it? I don't know." Later on, I found out it was something in the hall closet that had just fallen off a shelf. Like when I opened the
Gotcha.
hall closet later, I was like, "Oh, it was this."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that hall closet is like from where I sit at my desk, it's like 8 feet away, so it was
Ugh.
pretty fucking loud.
Yeah, did I tell you about the magnetic board that Megan keeps hanging up and like
No.
it keeps falling down and I'm
Oh
like,
God.
stop hanging it up,
This was
please.
this was a heavy enough thing that I was like, did a picture fall off a wall?
Well, that's the thing is because this magnetic board, we just put too much shit on it
Yeah.
and it's just, Megan just hung it using like those adhesive strips.
Oh, you gotta anchor that thing.
Oh yeah, well, we just didn't want to like drill into our cabinetry,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
But anyways, so like we're just laying in bed or whatever, trying to go to sleep, and you just hear this bang,
Huh.
downstairs, and I was like, oh fuck no.
No, I
So
hate that.
I got my gun and was like, I'm gonna go downstairs, and if you hear anything other than me yelling up that everything's okay, call
Oh
911.
God.
But yeah, this was before all this COVID BS. But
Yeah.
But anyway,
Uh,
well, I figured I guess that's probably good enough as an opener now that we're 30 some minutes into the
and
episode.
thoroughly creeped out. Thanks.
Yes, seriously. But is anything burning a hole in your pocket that you wanna
Well,
toss out
you
first?
said speed runs, and I was
Ooh,
like, wait, did you see this article too? Because
which one?
that's not what you were talking about, but it is about our need for speed.
Oh no,
So,
go.
so
Take
I
it.
found this article in New York Times, and it said there was a white 2019 Audi A8. You know what those
Oh,
are,
I
right?
did. I pulled an article for today on
Did
this.
you? Shit,
No,
sorry.
no, but that's funny. We can just tag team it. So
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, good. I'm glad this is getting some Oh, I see your article on there too.
yeah, the Cannonball
Yeah,
Run,
that's it.
man.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, they made the Cannonball Run in less than 27 hours, and they averaged more than 100 miles an hour over nearly 3,000 miles.
Holy shit! And
So
so
yeah,
the Cannonball Run.
it's
Did you?
it's a very specific from New York to LA. Like it's from a specific Manhattan parking garage to like I forget what the landmark is in LA, but it's an exact location.
Yeah, yeah.
And this kind of just broke down like
Oh,
what
here we go. Here we go. The
word?
Red Ball Garage in Manhattan
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
Portofino Hotel in Redondo Beach,
yeah.
California.
So the
Whoa.
Cannonball Run is really cool. Like I feel like it's very irresponsible and it's not something we should promote, but also I
Yeah.
think it's cool as hell.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Which, yeah,
Google
go ahead,
Maps
sorry.
estimates that there's two main routes you can go,
Uh-huh.
and either one should take about 41 hours right now, like with
Wow.
traffic being basically
Yeah.
nothing because of COVID.
Uh-huh.
And these dudes made it in 27.
Dude, that was something that was really funny to me in the comments section about this stuff.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, I don't know why, but that doesn't seem like I know that there's like a shelter in home, whatever, basically nationwide at this point. But I also feel like it's like, well, okay, you're still, it was like three people, right?
Yeah, I think three people or maybe
So
four. Um,
okay. I can't remember if it was oh no, here we go. Or no, never mind. It was a trio that
oh yeah,
used
three
a
person crew.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Um but anyway, so I don't feel like it's really that big of a deal cuz they were literally in a car the whole time.
I know. Like if you're already, I mean, if it's people that you're gonna be around anyway, like
Yeah.
okay, fine about that part.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, it'd basically be like me and my family taking a cross country trip right now,
yeah, and I
you
don't know,
know.
like there's I've seen a lot of stuff like in articles and stuff right now that are like stay home, like quit going out,
Yeah.
don't go out for a drive. And I'm like, why can't I go out for a drive?
Yeah, I feel like that is which, and I was actually talking to my dad about this a little bit
Yeah.
yesterday, but I feel like people have gone from precautious to paranoid.
Yeah, and like
You
I
know,
just love driving. So
yeah,
I took a Friday off a few weeks ago, but it was after all this shit had happened.
hmm,
And I just stayed around the house most of the day, but then in the afternoon I just drove around because
yeah.
I just like to drive.
Yeah, well, plus, dude, honestly, I'm afraid that the next time I get in my fucking car, it's not gonna start
Well,
because the
yeah.
battery's gonna be dead.
You gotta start starting it every like at least once a week or something, dude.
No, well, I mean that's what I've started doing is
Yeah.
basically I just switch which car I take to like the grocery or whatever
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that. But I mean, fuck, dude, I only live 2 miles from the
I
damn
know.
grocery. So it's like I really just need to start it and let it run for like 15 minutes.
But yeah, like
But
there's just certain roads in town that I like to drive,
yeah,
and sometimes I just like to drive places I don't always drive.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it was just nice to just get out, and it was a nice day. So like I had my windows down. I was listening to like old music I listened to in high school. Like I got out,
yeah.
I listened to the old Bloodhound Gang. Like
Yes.
hooray for boobies.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
album is still bomb. Whatever.
That was, I think Megan put a Bloodhound Gang song on like one of the first mixes she ever made for me or
Aw,
whatever. So I think
that's
it
how you know
was,
she's a keeper.
Yeah, I think it was what is it, Foxtrot
Yeah.
uniform
Charlie Kilo.
Charlie Kilo. Yeah.
Oh
Oh my
man.
god.
Yeah,
But yeah,
one of
dude,
these
it's
dudes
fun.
in this article said he wouldn't want to attach his name to breaking the cannonball record right now because the public distaste for it would far outweigh the glory.
See, I don't know, man. I feel like there's enough people that I mean, because there were some comments about like, oh, they have to touch gas pumps. Well, you know who else has to fucking touch gas pumps?
Ev-
Anybody that buys gas.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
like, plus you
this
can
links
sanitize
this
right
links
after.
to an article on Car and Driver,
Hmm.
uh, calling these guys three of this country's biggest assholes. Um, yeah, they're pretty much saying like a speed record that proves nothing other than their own self-importance. Like, I don't get the distaste here. Like,
Yeah.
we're not supposed to do this ever? I mean, you're saying it more like it's distasteful to do it right now, and I think they're just saying like it's kind of not fair because there's hardly any traffic, so of course you can go a lot faster.
That was a lot of what I was seeing is that
Yeah.
they were like, oh yeah, this will be a new record, but they're probably going to throw an asterisk on there because we are definitely at an all-time low for traffic, I would say.
Yeah,
So,
this the New York Times article that I had, it said that traffic, this is a really long article, sorry, I'm trying to find the quote.
mm,
I think it was down 90% of traffic in like a lot of major cities,
hmm,
and then about 50% less traffic basically everywhere right now.
yeah, yeah,
Like that's wild.
that's pretty fucking outrageous
Yeah,
for
but I mean,
sure.
I've noticed like I've been going into our office about every other work day just
Hmm.
because I can and because like there's some things I need to do at the office.
Yeah,
And there's only a like couple of us that are there and we're still staying apart.
yeah,
But like when I go in the mornings, I'll look down, I'm like, I'm doing 83. I should slow the fuck
yeah,
down. Because
yeah,
you're just not used to being able to go that fast, but there's hardly any traffic in the mornings. It feels like
yeah.
Christmas morning every time.
Oh, that's weird. See, I
It's
always
so
I loved getting out and driving on Christmas Day.
yeah,
Just because it's so weird to see like nobody in the mall parking lot,
yeah.
nobody over here, nobody over there, you
Like I
know?
have to drive around the mall when I go most places, and
Yeah,
for the mall to have been closed for so long now, it's so creepy.
yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
It's very reminiscent of like fucking like Walking Dead and stuff.
Yeah, it
So,
feels very much like that. And
yeah.
I don't know, it's just so weird. Like everywhere you go is, and now a ton of people are wearing masks and stuff, and that
Hmm.
just makes it even more like apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Which I'm not gonna lie, you just gave me a great segue. And
Great.
unless you've got something else to say,
No, I thought this cannonball thing was cool,
I
and
thought it was cool too.
there's been a bunch of movies and stuff about it. I think the guys from oh, the three British dudes that everyone loves.
Uh, oh, what is it?
Oh my God, what is it called?
It's World Tour is the current one. Top
Yeah,
Gear.
Top
Top
Gear.
Gear.
Those
Yeah.
guys, I think they did it like for the show one time.
Yeah.
It's a
Which,
cool.
dude,
I
Top Gear is
really cool.
fucking great.
Oh, it's
It's
so good.
entertaining as shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But so you mentioned that a lot more people are wearing masks these days,
yeah.
didn't you?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you saw this article from The Sun,
Oh boy.
but fury as Instagram influencers turn desperately needed coronavirus face masks into bikinis to go
Oh
viral.
no.
Oh
Y'all.
yeah, you know that you're like you can always depend on me bringing some kind of sexually oriented article to the fucking
Well,
podcast.
I've got to transition after this one now.
Sweet. So yeah, there are these Instagram influencers that are making quote quarantinis,
Oh
and
my
and
God.
literally it's pretty much if you want to take a look, it's pretty much what you would think it is, just like basically picture the Little Mermaid using a shell bra and replace the shells with masks.
Oh my
And then
God.
and then they've this first influencer has one of the masks that are like pulled over her hips so that it's like a fucking like underwear.
I do have to see this. Let's
Yeah.
let's Google it.
So yeah,
Corn
this one that I'm referencing, Australian model Mary or Marie, pictured herself in a black string-tied face mask bikini.
Yeah, that's the one that stood out to me.
Yeah. And I mean, this is just absolutely incredible.
I
Like,
like
I
I feel
feel,
like this is an ad for a bikini wax, honestly.
yeah,
Ugh.
no shit, dude. But I just think that it's really incredible that I don't understand the thinking, I guess. You know, I mean, like, what does this even fucking have to do with? Like, is the shock value just being lost on me?
I don't even think it's supposed to be so much a shock value as a look at me, I am aware of current trends.
Oh, got you, got you.
Like
So it's like,
here's a thing that's going on, so I'm gonna sexualize it kind of thing.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's
Well, shit,
gross.
we did cover what was it called, like pandemic porn or something, and it's like two people banging in hazmat suits
Oh
or
my God.
something.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Absolutely incredible. But I mean, like some of these influencers, like they actually have like the really nice like N95 with the like whatever little filters that you can switch out kind of thing. And I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, I just don't get it. I don't honestly I don't get a lot of social media stuff, and I'm totally fine with that. But then you've got some of these influencers that are making toilet paper, basically skirts and like tube tops kind of thing. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Oh my
Like,
God.
this is the fucking world we live in now.
Yeah.
So,
I do like the portmanteau of quarantini. I like that a lot.
oh yeah, totally. I mean, I
I just
definitely.
like clever words.
Oh yeah, exactly. I now if it stopped at that with like maybe a drawing of what it would be or something.
Or if it's even like people posting that they're doing a lot of home workouts and they're proud of toning up or something.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
I definitely agree that like obviously this is not very good use of
No.
medical supplies that are totally in demand currently by fucking like medical professionals.
Yeah, it's a
So
bad look.
but no, I love that. I do want to quote one of the people that had like commented on this quarantini trend. Somebody said, "What do you expect from such a mental low flyer?" I love it. But yeah, so just absolutely insane. I guess everybody is pretty fucking bored, but I don't know. Why don't you try to like make a bikini out of sourdough bread or something?
Well,
But
my friend has been sending me this account on Twitter
uh
that's it says that it's real titles of Japanese porn videos. I
yes,
cannot believe that any of these are real porn video
please.
titles. So, I'll link to this in the ever so wonderful link-filled newsletter that goes
Here,
out,
here. And then wait, yeah,
tetherradio.substack.com.
there you go. I was like, all right, how can someone sign up to this aforementioned newsletter?
So on Twitter, they are at JAV and then the word dot and then TXT. It's just a jumble of letters, but
Yeah.
oh, it's so bad. So here's just what's going on right now. There here's one from last night.
Uh,
Do my armpits stink? Miko Abueno. Oh no, I left some armpit hairs. What? Forbidden yoga, entangled mucus.
Oh.
Um, Asshole queen, I won't lose against small girls.
Oh my God! Can I be called Daniel Asshole Queen Bradley now? Asshole Queen.
Here's one. Cum penetration, explosive in pants hand job. Shame of not taking pants down feels good. Okay, so he'll send me these just out of nowhere, and he's always like, "Your mom's been doing some crazy stuff." Like all these make for good your mom jokes.
Yeah.
So it turns out they have a merch site that's just quotes of their like tweets.
Oh
And
my God.
I saved a few of those because I was just howling laughing at them on the couch the other night.
Yeah.
Um, so any of these, you can get a phone case, a mug, a sticker, a t-shirt. This one says, incest with my little sister who is hospitalized repeatedly. Today I saw the sea. I'm no longer afraid. What? This one just says true lesbian. This one says,
I think that's the sequel to True Detective, but I could be wrong.
I really kind of want to buy this shirt. It says, I'm sorry, everyone. I love to fuck. And then, actually, this one is the best. Dick ghost tongue action, which sounds like what you're worried about right now, Daniel.
I swear to God, if our house is possessed by a dick ghost,
Oh no.
I'm not cool with
I
that.
don't want any of that tongue action.
Yeah, I don't want any of that dick ghost tongue action.
So despite the text being terrible, I don't think they ever tweet pictures, so it's technically not safe for work. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
because it's not pictures. So,
yeah.
but
Oh
man,
my
that town
God.
is crazy.
That's fucking incredible. And you said you're gonna link that
Yeah,
in
it'll
the,
be.
the
I'll put it in
newsletter.
the newsletter show
Oh
notes. Yeah.
fuck yes, that
Oh
is
my,
hilarious, dude. I'm like crying over here.
so bad. And sometimes they'll be like a paragraph long, and I'm like, what
Yeah.
is this?
It's just trying to get every fucking buzz term for
Yeah.
porno searches.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
incredible. All right. So I wanted I'm gonna switch gears and talk about something a little bit well, not a little bit, a lot more serious, but I just thought that this was really fucked and a terrible business model. So I pulled this one from CNN Business. People are luring Instacart shoppers with big tips and then changing them to zero.
Well, that's fucked up.
Yeah. So I started looking at this and I was like, man, that seems, how do they even have this whatever structured so that somebody has the option to do that?
Yeah.
And basically what occurs is people will have you ever used Instacart?
No, I know somebody that like works for it, but he
Mm-hmm.
does weird stuff.
Gotcha. Oh my God, I feel like that's a story in itself.
He's real big on like the gig economy. I don't know.
Gotcha. Well, dude, the gig economy is fucking taking a
I
hurting
know, man.
currently. So, well, I mean, fuck, I could probably just stop at the economy is taking a hurting right now.
Oh yeah.
So basically, the way that it works, or at least the way that I understand that it works, is people will post a like list of their items. Let me make sure that I can. Let's see. I just wanted to. Yeah, here we go. Workers can see the items requested, the store location, the payment Instacart provides workers for the job, and the tip being offered.
Oh.
And so people will basically throw like a $50 tip on there
Yeah.
because the Instacart workers are obviously looking to make as much money as possible.
Right.
And I don't
Right.
blame them.
Yeah.
So so they see these huge tips and they'll go, fulfill the list and everything and then drop it off. But the customer has currently 72 hours to change the fucking tip.
Why do you need that long?
I that is beyond me. I
Ugh.
honestly, in my opinion, I don't think you should be able to change the tip.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe after you,
Either that or somebody actually did recommend something that it's like, because I think people fail to realize really everybody's expected to tip for most anything these days.
yeah,
And so it's kind of, I feel like the whole purpose behind the tip has kind of been lost because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah.
my understanding of a tip is like, hey, I'm going to pay you a little bit more because of the great service that you provided.
I mean, I think it depends. Like, I think in American culture,
Hmm.
the way I tip is
Uh,
like I consider like 20%, like if you gave me the most mediocre of service, I'm probably still
yeah,
going to tip you 20%.
yeah,
And if you're fairly decent, I'm going to tip considerably more than that
yeah,
because I know they're making what 2.15 an hour or whatever, and like
yeah.
they live off of those tips.
Which I still, how many people and not to get off on the
Yeah,
tip whatever soapbox kind of thing, but like I've never really agreed with the whole 215, but they have to make sure that you're at least making minimum wage after the tips that you claim kind of
I
thing.
mean, like I've worked for tips and they've never done that. Like
Well, and that's
nowhere I
my
worked
thing.
ever supplemented if we had like a slow day.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
And
don't. And what am
so
I gonna do? Take them to court? I work at like
no,
Outback. I can't take them to
thank you.
court.
100%. And
Yeah.
that's why like in my opinion it's like dude, I think that we need maybe I don't fucking know. I really don't. But I
Well,
think
and
that they
so to
need to be
change
paid.
it, they would
Mhm.
have to like ultimately absorb those costs into
Yeah.
the food. So instead of buying a $10 burger,
Hmm.
if we got rid of the tip thing, you'd be needing to buy, a
Like a
14, $15
$15.
burger.
Yeah.
And then everyone's going to be like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to go pay $15 for a burger.
Yeah.
And like,
Well,
it should be I tip you if you did very well.
yeah. Well, and normally the way that I will tip is like pretty much the same as you, that it's
Yeah.
like, hey, if I get bad service, you're
Yeah.
probably going to get a 10% tip kind
Yeah.
of
If it's like
thing.
really bad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's like run of the mill, hey, my drink was filled. You came back and checked on us a couple times. Whatever.
Yeah.
I have pretty fucking low expectations for
Yeah. Me
going out to
too.
eat these days.
Yeah, like
So
you don't have to go over the top. You don't have to like become my best friend. Like I would rather
yeah,
you not, but like
yeah,
maybe make sure
exactly.
my drink is full when my food comes. That'd be good.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I even like that style, and very few restaurants do this, but like the style that like they won't come back and check on you
Yeah,
unless you like motion to them that it's like, hey, I need something kind of thing.
I really like that. Have you ever been to Brazeros?
The is that's the
The
card
like,
thing, right?
yeah, I
Yeah,
like
I,
that
I
concept
haven't
where
I
they,
haven't, but I know about it.
man, their food, it's so overpriced, but God, it's good. But like,
That's what I've
they
heard.
don't come to you like they'll swing by to like fill up your drink or whatever. But like,
Yeah,
if you don't want any more food at the time, you just flip
yeah,
your card to the red side, and they just don't come to your table.
yeah,
It's so
yeah.
handy. Like,
Well, and I think that that's how a decent number of restaurants how they function abroad
yeah,
is that it's
probably.
like they're not going to come back. They're basically going to kind of hang out in the whatever the server area
Yeah.
and just kind of glance up at their tables. And if somebody's like trying to get your attention, then yeah, I'll come whatever help you out with whatever you need. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I'm just going to chill over here because you didn't come out to this restaurant to get hassled and for me to come around at every 5 seconds and
Yeah.
ask how your food's doing, or whatever.
I've had those servers that like they want to be your best friend and I'm like,
Yeah.
I am just here for a sandwich.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It's like be nice to me and then like
Yeah.
that's all I want.
Like don't
That's
sit down with me. Don't
yeah.
hang out.
I'm not looking for a friend. I'm
Yeah.
looking for a meal. So
Yeah.
but anyway,
My friends went to Europe,
uh,
I think in December on their honeymoon, and like
mhm,
they went to a bunch of different places, and pretty much like you're kind of expected to just hang out somewhere when you go like to a sit down restaurant, like,
yeah.
and they're fine with that, but like they also mostly leave you alone in case like unless you signal them or something like.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he said it was just so pleasant and like just such a better concept.
Well,
It was
and
really
it
cool.
just makes sense
Yeah.
to me because it's like, okay, well, why does the server need to go around and like set their timer for, whatever, 5, 7, 10 minutes
Yeah.
and check on you every once in a while when in all actuality, once you get your food, you're probably going to be set for like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyway, so coming back to the this Instacart stuff,
Oh yeah.
they basically, I mean, they were talking about stuff, and this blows my, excuse me, this blows my fucking gourd, man. But like, somebody had a 112 item Aldi shopping list
Ugh.
and they got tipped $1
That's
after.
so insulting.
I mean, like, dude, that is. I told Megan I was like going through these articles before we'd hopped on here,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, 112 items. That's like 3 or 4 of no. That's probably 4 of our normal shopping lists.
Yeah.
And tipping a fucking $1,
Ugh.
like. I feel like it should be worked in that it's like, you know what, you use our service, you tip 10% at the fucking least.
Yeah, or
Kinda
like
thing.
you've got that on there as a fee and you can't take it off, but if you want to
Yeah.
leave an additional tip, then you can kind of thing.
Yeah, or even allowing people to modify the tip, but you can only modify it to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, dude, wiping a 50 fucking dollar tip off to
Ugh.
literally 0. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just you're a piece of shit if you do
You're just
that,
taking
period.
advantage of somebody.
Yeah, yeah,
Plus, I don't
and
know
that's
how those
the
people get paid. Like, do they only get their tips? I mean, surely that can't be it, but
no,
like,
no, no. They have like they get paid. What was it? Let me find
is it like
that
by the
line
job?
again. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the payment Instacart provides workers for the job. That's one of the things that they can look at.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it has to do with the number of items, or I would think that it would have to do with the number of items on the list and, maybe a couple other factors. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know that it's fucking bare minimum,
Yeah.
that Instacart is going to provide. And so these people are hopefully banking on the fact that they're not going to get hooked up with some dickhead that's going to zero out their tip,
Yeah.
after they complete it. Plus, this whole bidding process on
Ugh.
it is just like, I mean, that is just fucked, man, to like throw a huge tip just so you can get your shit before somebody else and then have the option to like zero it out.
Yeah, that's just like so just shitty of someone to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. But I dare say that I feel like this might get enough traction to have Instacart kind of look at their
Like their business model.
yeah, and try to help their fucking employees out a little bit.
I hope so.
A little bit more. But I wanted to quote this spokesperson for Instacart. In this article, they said an Instacart spokesperson told CNN Business the vast majority of people in March adjusted their tip upward or did not adjust their tip after delivery. Moreover, the spokesperson said the company recently removed the, quote, none tip option for people. So users who want to tip nothing must manually change it to 0. I don't feel like that's putting that big of a hurdle up, personally.
No, I don't think so at all.
The spokesperson said this could deter users from doing so. People also can also leave feedback and rate a worker in the app, something Instacart claims typically happens if and when a person removes a tip.
Yeah.
So okay, wait a second. So am I reading that because it says rate a worker?
I think they typoed that. That sounds like they meant rate a customer.
Yeah, right? And so that it's like, hey, this dickhead fucking zeroed out my tip.
Or maybe they
Yeah.
are saying the worker, and like if you zero out a tip, you must have had a good reason.
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't
That's a
know.
good point. I don't know. I think that even giving the option, that there are people out there that are just fucking dickheads that
Yeah.
are going to do this anyway, or at least try to find some way to game the system.
Mm-hmm.
But like there was an example, and obviously these are just anecdotes from a couple people, but
Yeah.
somebody was saying that, let's see, where the hell was that? Somebody zeroed out a tip because the person couldn't find toilet paper for them. And it's like, dude, okay, I'm sorry, but there are certain items that are very fucking difficult to find right now.
Like certain
Toilet
places,
paper.
it's hard to find like chicken and ground beef, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, to have that shit like zeroed out just due to the fact that it's like, oh, you couldn't find an item that is a super high demand item currently.
Yeah, that's garbage.
I don't know. It just seems it seems like the gig economy just it doesn't protect its workers in the fucking least.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because I mean they write it into their fucking business model that there's going to be insane turnover.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. Let this be, I guess, a lesson or a precaution to anyone that's looking to get hired by Instacart, or if you are working for Instacart or Instacart, just be aware that this is occurring in some instances. So maybe overlook that $100 tip for one that's a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
But it's so fucked.
Yeah.
But they said that they were thinking about basically shortening the amount of time to allow people to do that, which I still feel like that's not really. Just allowing them to do it is the problem.
Well,
you know,
if someone really fucked you over, I feel like that should be a few and far between case, and maybe you should have to send a message to customer support or something and be like, hey, this guy, I ordered 10 items and he said they were out of 9 of them, but like they weren't. Something like that, you know?
Yeah, well, and you know what? That's a really good point. I would put more burden on the customer.
Yeah.
If you're going to, tip less than a certain percentage kind of thing.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
It's like, okay, you need to submit a reason why you're dicking this person over.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, that might actually be a viable thing.
Great. We've solved Instacart's problems for them.
Yeah. So now that we've solved your problem, go fuck yourself. We hate your service. So
well,
look out for your people a little more. But anyway, sorry.
I wanted to tell you about magic toilets.
You know what I want to learn about?
I feel like you don't want to learn about this.
I want to know what a magic toilet is.
Well, it has to do with smart technology and AI and cameras for your beeholes. So,
yes.
No.
I totally want to see a shot of the brown eye winking.
Oh, God. Oh, geez. Okay, so there's a smart toilet that has pressure sensors, artificial intelligence, and a camera. And researchers are saying it could provide a valuable way to keep tabs on our health. So pretty much like they're hoping it'll help prevent or early detect problems like diabetes or urinary tract infections or even like inflammatory bowel disorders, stuff like that.
Dude, I think we actually covered something a while ago on this.
Did we?
Well, no, it might have been before you were on here.
Okay.
But because the camera is facing the water.
Well,
right?
I don't think so.
Oh God!
I think there are multiple cameras.
Oh my God! I'm so not down for this already.
It's so bad. I would like to say that even though this was already on my radar, last podcast Side Stories covered this, and they had me cracking up. Oh my gosh, it was really good. So there are test strips in it that detects health markers in your urine, like your glucose and your red blood cells. And they take video recordings of the flow of your urine to spot changes that might be related to disease.
What?
It also has cameras that take images of users' stool, and then they classify those using a type of artificial intelligence into the different categories on the British stool scale, which, by the way, I have come across before, and it's hilarious. It's just pictures of different turds. It's the funniest scale I've ever seen.
Dude, I'll tell you if you want to see something awesome.
Oh, God.
Google Bristol stool scale cake.
No!
It is fucking great.
Okay, I'm writing that down because I might need to put that in the newsletter.
That totally needs to be in the newsletter.
Okay, great.
But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Full sale cake. Oh God. Okay. It can also collect other information such as this is so gross. Your first stool dropping time and total seated time, which can potentially be acted on by clinicians to help manage constipation and hemorrhoids.
I'm really bad about taking long poops.
I think everybody is because we've got our phones and we're like,
Yeah.
just gonna go ahead and finish this level of Candy Crush.
Most of the time I call it my research lab.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm doing most of my Tether radio research.
That's why it's so shitty. But
Oh,
my
it's
God.
awesome.
So yeah, so I regret to inform you there is a new word in our vocabulary and it is anal prints.
Oh my God. So wait a second. So we've got an asshole queen and we've got an anal prince. Yes, I like where this is going.
There's also there's a fingerprint scanner on the flush handle so that they can tell who is doing the shitting. And your anal prints are your distinctive creases in the lining of the anus captured by video.
No, I'm sorry. I misheard you.
Huh?
I thought you said anal prince, like as in like
no.
the son of a king.
You can be the anal prince if you want. Oh God.
Oh my God.
So they,
No, dude. After you used the term asshole queen, I was thinking about royalties.
God. That's amazing. That's who's haunting you in your sleep at night. It's the anal prince creeping down the hallway. That's why he smelled.
Oh no, the anal prince with his dick ghost and tote.
Fuck. So they hope to expand the range of tests so that they can screen for illicit drug use and STIs and look at the makeup of the microbes in your gut.
Wow.
I feel like if they're screening for illicit drug use, that's almost implying that they're going to use these like in workplaces or something, which I am not going to consent to you videoing my asshole.
Yeah. Like, come on, man.
Big no.
That is a huge fucking no. Wait a second. Isn't there some kind of law against having fucking,
Yeah.
like, cameras in bathrooms in general?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what? What the fuck?
They didn't really expand on that, but it really got me thinking. I'm like, if they're screening for drug use, like,
Yeah.
I don't need to screen at my house for drug use because it would be me taking the drugs. I would know what the fuck I was taking, right?
Yeah. Well, and not only that, I'm pretty sure that, like, bathroom cams really went out of vogue once Chuck Berry got got arrested for his pee-pee cams.
I don't know, man. This whole thing's weird.
That is so fucking weird. Oh my God.
And they had like a little survey, and they were like 30% of people surveyed said they were uncomfortable with the idea of this. And I'm like, only 30%?
Who the fuck were they surveying?
Right? Like, what did you survey? 6 people or something? Like,
Yeah, well, we
4 of
surveyed.
them were your researchers.
Yeah, we surveyed 3 kindergarten classes. Do you want a camera in your duty place?
And 2 of them were little boys that were like, that sounds cool.
Yeah, can I rewatch it on my iPad? On my Leapfrog tablet? Oh my God, dude. That is just like, I'm definitely not down for this.
It's
So
not good.
yeah,
Not good.
holy. I would say holy shit, but
Well.
my God. That is just insane. So, I mean, has this gained traction anywhere?
I
Like,
think they're mostly still like developing it, but I'm just like, who is your target here?
dude, the first place that comes to mind, I would think Asia. I'm not kidding, like, at all. Like, because they're all about, like, the smart toilets and stuff.
That's true. That's true.
Because, I mean, dude, I remember when Megan and I went to Korea, we stayed in a hotel the first and last night that we were there, so we could get to the airport real quick.
Oh yeah.
And dude, I swear to God, the toilet was so fucking complicated. Like, I thought I was hacking the fucking mainframe every time I was trying to take a dump.
I've seen those. That's got like all the different like controls and buttons, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to pee.
Yeah, it's like, how do I flush?
Yeah.
And like, I don't want you to like blast tepid water at my cornhole. I don't want, I don't want like an air dryer. I don't want like whatever, a vibrating seat to like massage my butt cheeks
No.
I mean, dude, it was so weird though, cuz like, I mean, that there's like, I get the different buttons for like, oh, did you pee or did you poop? How much water do we need to use on this thing?
Yeah, that's fine.
I get that. But it's like, once it's like, you have to have like a small like tutorial to use a toilet. Like, what?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah,
I
just
that's where it's
hate
gonna
the like automatic flushing toilets. Like I hate
No, I
those
don't.
already because like if you move just the wrong way, it like zoom and I'm like, oh no.
One, and half the time it's like it blasts so fucking hard
Yeah.
that some of it's gonna end up on you
I know.
if you're sitting down.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I don't even get me started on fucking auto flush toilets.
Oh, and the guys on the last podcast pointed out all this fancy shit and it doesn't even have a bidet.
What?
Right? Like you're gonna put all this on there and you're not gonna clean me?
Are these people really? Do they really have your ass health in there as their prerogative?
They just want pictures of beeholes.
Yeah. They just want a front and center of your balloon knot, dude.
Oh god.
So-
In sort of related news, Dr.
Yeah.
Fauci says that we shouldn't ever shake hands again. Did you see that?
I did see that.
I
did
like
see
it.
that.
'Cause yeah.
I actually really like and not to just obviously I like Asia for a lot of different reasons. But I actually really like the just respectful like bow.
I think that's
kinda
really
thing.
cool. Yeah.
That it's like you're not touching anything, you're not, it is duly respected by both people.
Yeah.
Bow a little bit lower if you're younger, or whatever the actual what cultural norms are kind of thing. I like that though.
Yeah.
I'd totally be behind that.
I don't know if a bow would really catch on in the US, but like
Well, so what are you?
well, he's not really saying like anything instead. He's just saying stop shaking hands. It's dumb. Like
Yeah.
he said, pretty much when we start going back to normal-ish, people are asking, what are the things we should still be doing? And
Yeah.
he said one of them is definitely still washing your hands as much as you are now, and
Yeah.
don't ever shake anybody's hands. And he's like, not only would it be good to prevent coronavirus, but it would also decrease just regular flu.
Yeah.
And,
Anything
like-
transmittable like by touch.
Yeah, he's like, that's a really big way that you can transmit respiratory illness. And like, I hate shaking hands. Like when it's a man in like a friendly situation, like not a workplace thing, but like if a dude that's friends with a friend of mine gets introduced to me and like holds his hand out to shake mine, I'm just like,
Yeah.
are you an alien and you just don't get how like you don't shake women's hands? That's weird.
So I'm glad that you just said that because I'm not going to lie. Like when I get introduced to couples,
Yeah.
I will normally shake the dude's hand and just kind of like either whatever, do some kind of wave or just say hi to the female.
And I feel like that's fine. Like that's normal enough. And I also like if you did try to shake my hand, I'm gonna
Yeah.
like dwell on it for a minute and then I'm gonna drop it and I'm never gonna remember it again. But like in
Yeah.
in the moment, I'm like, "Ugh, this is one of those bitches. Like, it's one
The
of
other thing
these
that
guys.
the other thing that I hate about shaking hands is like I don't think that a lot of men are taught the proper way to like shake a hand. Like how long is too long to like hold it? How hard are you supposed to grasp it? It's supposed to be a firm handshake. We're not about to fucking arm wrestle.
Yeah.
Like, and like these dudes with like fucking I don't even know what dick issues or something that it's like they grab your hand and they're just like, "Ugh," and like the veins are like sticking out on their necks
You
and they're
should
like
start
starting to
calling
sweat.
them out and be like, "Do you have one of those gripper things you just sit around and like
Yeah.
grab while you're watching TV?"
I'm just gonna be like, uncle, 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 and go down on a knee.
Yeah, I think handshaking is stupid. Like, I sort of get it in a workplace environment, like if you're going in for an interview or like you're meeting a new manager or
Mhm.
something, but like I still just don't like just say hi. I don't know.
Well, no, I completely, honestly, the thing that I would rather have over handshaking is fucking eye contact.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nobody holds eye contact these
I
days,
know. And
and
I
it's
feel like
like,
if you do, you come across as intimidating.
yeah, like you're trying to like whatever mentally fuck with someone or something. And
Trying
I'm
to like
like, no,
read
I'm
their
actually,
mind.
yeah, no, I'm actually trying to use my laser focus to look through the back of your head. No, but it's like, yeah, it's just really weird. Like me maintaining eye contact, I'm just trying to pay attention,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of thing. Because if I'm not looking at you, I can guarantee you, my mind is going to wander immediately. You know what I'm saying? It's like, which is a real fucking problem for me on a daily basis, anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with 86ing handshaking.
Yeah. Big fan. Big fan of that.
Yeah. But so kind of in the same vein of not, I don't know, like unforeseen repercussions of all of this stuff, kind of thing, or
Yeah.
not repercussions, but just paradigm shifts and
Yeah.
stuff in normalcy. I pulled this article from The Guardian, and I thought it was really interesting because there's a lot of stuff that is being affected by like this paradigm shift,
Yeah.
that people, it's flying under the radar kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I never in a million years would have thought about this had I not read this article, kind of thing. And
Okay.
so I pulled it from The Guardian, and it basically, the title was "Mafia Distributes Food to Italy's Struggling Residents."
Huh.
So right off the bat, I was like, dude, that's actually really fucking awesome that like they're kind of taking it into their,
Yeah.
their own hands to help out their whatever. I was gonna say constituents. God, that's nah, not so much.
Neighbors. Let's just say
Yeah,
neighbors.
neighbors. Yeah, exactly. So that is one part of it. But the other part is this other huge thing that they will be held, the people receiving these food parcels will most likely be held responsible in the future for supporting these mafia figures.
Oh no.
So, to quote this article, and this the guy that they were interviewing, Nicola Gratteri, I guess, and he's an anti-mafia investigator and the head of the prosecutor's office in Catanzaro.
Oh.
I don't know. It's in Italy, so I'm not even going to attempt most of these other names. But anyway, he was quoted as saying, "Mafia bosses consider their cities as their own fiefdom. The bosses know very well that in order to govern, they need to take care of the people in their territory, and they do it by exploiting the situation to their advantage. In the people's eyes, a boss who knocks on the door offering free food is a hero.
Yeah.
And the boss knows that he can then count on their support, or on the support of these families when necessary, when, for example, the mafia sponsors a politician for election who will further their criminal interests." So I thought that was kind of fascinating that it's, because since Italy's infrastructure has really, really, really been put under strain with
Yeah.
all this.
Yeah.
I mean, not so much. Well, I was going to say not so much the U.S. at this point. Different places in the U.S.
Yeah.
Definitely are, like, for instance, New York. I
Yeah.
mean, New York, that is just in fucking sane.
Well,
to
and I
me,
think
but-
different industries too, like that thing I sent you earlier this week about like the breweries, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
killing them. And I mean, just different, like small businesses are hurting. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But anyway, so basically they've had a lot of well, not a lot of reports, but they have had reports um of basically these mafia whatever members kind
Hmm.
of thing that are giving out free food to these in these poorer parts of Italy and these provinces and stuff. And they it's gaining enough it's gaining enough, not traction, but like of the attention of like the Italian police,
Yeah.
that they're like, dude, this could be very problematic once all this stuff is kind of whatever, water under the
I
bridge
mean,
kind of
so are they
thing.
saying that basically anyone who accepts free food from the mafia is gonna be like expected to return a favor later?
They're basically saying that and I was trying to find this one quote. I should have pulled it earlier, but they basically said, let's see, this other official was quoted as saying these handouts by the mafias are not gifts. The mafia does not do anything out of the kindness of their heart. They are
Yeah.
favors that everyone will have to pay back in some form or another by aiding and abetting a fugitive, holding a gun, dealing drugs, and the like. And they actually compare this to El Chapo.
Oh no.
And yeah, they went on. Gratteri went on to be quoted as saying he trafficked. Talking about El Chapo,
Yeah.
he trafficked tons of cocaine and commissioned the murder of hundreds of people. But in his hometown, he was known for his benevolence because people said that he provided medicines to families or built roads. The same thing happens here. So it's really, I don't know. I think that it's going to be really interesting to look back and be like, fuck, man, these certain things were covered with this facade of benevolence and helping and like altruistic whatever manners kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then people, the dust is going to settle after all this shit, and
Yeah.
people are going to be like, whoa, didn't see that coming, aka surveillance state shit in the
Yeah.
United States, because
Yeah.
I am not liking all of this tracking stuff.
Oh man, I really don't like the whole like everything they're saying from our cell phone data.
Yeah.
Like who no,
Well,
I
and
don't think they
the
should use that stuff.
well, and the shit thing about it, man, is like I was talking about earlier, how everybody or a lot of people have progressed from this precautious whatever stance to just straight up paranoid.
Yeah.
And so they're not making good decisions and thinking about what could potentially happen after they've made this decision,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like whatever Apple have, all these different big tech companies are launching these like fucking COVID tracking apps that
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, just let us know where you've been and who you've been in contact. Don't turn off your Bluetooth because we need to be able to ping other cell phones around you so that we know who to contact if whatever, if you report that you are positive for COVID
I
kind of
just think
thing.
that that's so like I think that would make people more worried than they need to be because say if you
Yeah.
went to Target, how many other people went to that Target on the days that you went?
Yeah.
And like just because someone was there at 11 a.m. and they
Mhm.
had it, they could have just been in one section of the store you weren't even in and checked
Yeah.
out at a different register and you went in 4 hours later and you didn't really like contract it or anything.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just going to make people more worried that like sure, yes, we have crossed paths with people who have it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not as directly as that stuff's going to make it out to be.
Well, and not only that, but like I would think that if these people, they're wanting the most data that they can possibly get away with gathering. So
Yeah.
what they're probably doing is pinging using Bluetooth to ping phones that are like fucking 20, 30 feet away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
it's like you might not have even ever seen the fucking person.
Exactly. Like they're not
And
going to be exact enough to
yeah,
say, that you directly like brushed elbows with this person that had it.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like this is kind of one of those, I don't know, ignorance is bliss, and honestly, ignorance is I think more, I don't know, it's better, it would be better to be ignorant of this thing, and then you're not having to think about it, kind of thing,
Yeah.
when it really doesn't play a role in
Well, and also like if you were exposed, like what difference is that going to make now? Like you're already trying to limit how much you're seeing anyone else.
yeah,
And like if you know you were exposed, there's not a way to prevent that now.
yeah,
So like
yeah.
what good is that?
Yeah, no, exactly,
I don't
exactly.
know.
It's just I don't know. I think that we've just gotten to the point to where it's like I said, it's gone from being careful to being paranoid,
Yeah.
and I don't think that that's going to work out very well for anybody.
Yeah, I think it's just
So
making everybody even more edgy than we have seen everyone already is.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. But I don't know why. Well, I guess the social distancing thing and talking about that just made me think of this meme that you sent me. If you're worried about what to do while you're quarantined, remember that while he was in isolation, mathematician Theodore Kaczynski completed more than 16 successful technical projects and wrote a 35,000 word essay that was published in the New York Times.
I mean, we can all be inspired by that,
Oh my God.
except for the part where he was the Unabomber.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was pretty incredidible. I was trying to think of I just kind of wanted to mention that one because
Yeah.
and I kind of one of the reasons that I wanted to mention it is just to put this on people's radar and just really, even though yes, we're dealing with a global pandemic and this stuff is serious and everything, don't lose your logic and reasoning, and don't lose, don't just throw your arms up and say, "Hey, government, save me," because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the government is not looking out for your fucking best interest. I can
What?
promise you. Yeah, I know, right?
Uh,
But anyway, in a little bit lighter news, I had to, since we're recording this on Easter, I totally had to cover this article. I had no option. Flagler County woman placed 400 pamphlets, porn-filled Easter eggs in strangers' mailboxes, deputies say. So, this lady, 42-year-old April Sestoni, and it's not April, it's April.
I think that's Spanish.
Oh,
Isn't
is
that
it?
how I think that's how it's spelled in Spanish?
Oh, no
I
shit.
think. I
Oh,
might be
okay.
wrong. It's been a million years since I took Spanish.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so deputies were alerted to the behavior of Mrs. Sestoni Wednesday evening after they received multiple calls that she was allegedly placing the eggs in mailboxes.
Oh my God.
So she later admitted to placing the images in the mailboxes and said she was educating people, according to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. So this is my favorite part. This is what they said were in the eggs.
Oh no.
The eggs were found to have one cracker in the shape of a fish, one sheet of toilet paper, a powdered drink mix, and a crumpled up piece of paper containing pornographic images.
I mean, aren't
What
those the four food groups?
Yeah. It's like, well, I'll tell you one thing. Before I consume my asshole queen porn, I like to eat a fish-shaped cracker, wipe my ass once, and chug some powdered Gatorade.
Sure, yeah.
Am I normal? Yes, I am.
My butthole camera says you're normal.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But I was just like, what in the I mean, this is screaming yeah, mental health
What did
issue.
she say her point was for doing this?
She said that she said that she was educating people.
Oh, good.
I don't know what she was. She wasn't quoted as saying like what she was educating people about or for or whatever, but she's definitely education is high on her importance totem pole.
It certainly sounds like it.
Yeah.
What is the powdered drink mix? I'm just wondering what it looks like how it's packaged. Is it an individual package of Crystal Light, or is it just in a clear baggie and you wonder if it's cocaine?
Yeah, it's either crystal meth or a powdered drink mix. I'm assuming that it's probably one of those. They don't have a picture or anything, and that's literally. I pretty much read you about half of the article.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
and
like
they
two
probably
paragraphs.
are trying desperately to avoid brand names because that's
Yeah.
obviously a goldfish cracker, but I bet Goldfish does not want that to be on there.
Well, so this is the thing. I started trying to like deconstruct why everything was put in there. And this is what I came up with.
Oh boy.
Okay, so fish was like a big staple in the Bible
Yeah.
for providing, food for people.
Right.
One sheet of toilet paper. I'm assuming that's just because nobody has toilet paper these days.
Okay.
Right?
Maybe.
The powdered drink mix, man.
That part's weird.
I guess you're gonna get parched after you pound your goldfish.
Okay, good, because I was gonna say parched after looking at all that porn.
Yes,
You need your
seriously.
electrolytes back.
You need to replenish your fluids.
I feel like maybe the sheet of toilet paper is about how whatever she's thinking is bullshit, right?
Maybe so. Yeah.
I do see the fish cracker surely is something to do with like the fishes and loaves and whatever in the Bible.
Yeah.
But the powdered drink mix remains a mystery.
Yeah.
And the porn just doesn't scream Easter to me, but honestly I'm not sure what kind of porn it is. It could be Easter bunny porn. I don't know.
It's totally furry porn. But this is the other thing. I just love that it's not like folded up or anything. It literally says a crumpled up piece of paper containing pornographic images.
Maybe she thought it would fit in the egg without needing to be folded, and then she realized that it didn't really, so she just kind of smushed it in there when she was closing the egg. I don't know.
And she has like short-term memory loss, so every egg that she packed was like that. So it's just like, oh yeah, here it's fitting. Oh fuck, Oh yeah, it's fitting. Oh fuck.
600 eggs though, right? That's a lot.
400.
400. That's still a lot.
That is a lot of pornographic crumpled images and goldfish. So. But that's pretty much all that I have in regards to this. I pulled one other thing that actually has a decent segue from that. A crisis mental health hotline has seen pretty much a 9-fold spike in calls.
Wow.
Currently.
Yeah.
And I really just wanted to mention this because I know that everybody is fucking at their wits' end currently, and this is not the answer. So the suicide and hurting anyone, including yourself, is not the fucking answer.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to post this in whatever show notes and stuff, so that if you are feeling on edge and just need to talk to somebody or whatever, first of all, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and just hell, we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs just as much as the next person.
Yeah, we're not therapists, but we can at least entertain you.
Yeah, we can shoot the shit with you or whatever. But if you're feeling that you need something a little more than that, the disaster distress helpline is 1-800-985-5990. So, and this will be posted in the show notes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I did think that it was pretty incredible that they saw from comparing February 2020 to March 2020, March 2020, they saw about a fourfold increase.
Wow.
And then comparing March to, wait, is that right? No.
Like this March versus last March, maybe?
Let me see. Maybe I misread this. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So it's year to date kind of thing.
Okay.
So February 2020 to February 2019, four times increase. March 2020 to March 2019, 9 times.
Yeah, I
Ninefold
mean,
increase. So.
I think a lot of people are just like, you can't turn off your brain and you can't stop thinking. And it's, if you were already going through some shit, like this is making it worse. But just know there's a lot of people out there that are going through it too. And there's a lot of inspirational quotes that are like, keep going, and the only way to go is through it, kind of thing.
Yeah. But and I actually just saw that you can also, if you don't even want to speak with somebody and you just want to text message, you can send "talk with us," all one word, to 66746, and you can get connected with a trained counselor through that also.
Cool.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool if you are a little introverted.
Yeah.
Don't want to just reach out to a stranger kind of thing.
Plus, there are, just a ton of your friends and stuff do care. Like, and if you message one of them and you're like, I need to talk, your friends are going to listen. So,
yes.
Just remember that.
You will not be seen as an inconvenience, even as much as you might think that you are.
Yeah.
Your friends are your friends for a reason. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so I hate to end on that, but I'm
No, I think that's a good spot. That's good.
Do you have any? You got anything?
I got a couple things, but I think I'm just gonna roll them into next week because they're both like, they're not pressing or anything. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will go ahead and put on my dancing shoes to do our social jingle. So yeah, let us know what you thought about the episode. If you want to hit us up, this is how to do it. tetherradio@gmail.com. That is TETHERRADIO@gmail.com. We are on Jack Dorsey's Twitter sphere. Thank you, Mr. Dorsey, for pledging, I believe, $1 billion to the relief of COVID, right?
Yes. Just
so that was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah, no shit. We are also on Instagram at Tether_radio, on Facebook, Tether Radio, all one word. We also have the ever-growing and fantastic Tether Radio After Dark Facebook group. I'm probably going to be posting some shit about Animal Crossing because I need to go to some other people's islands, so get at me, y'all. And then we also have the Tether Radio newsletter that Allie fucking kills every week. Like, I'm involved in this podcast, and I'm excited to get it. So, you can sign up for that at tetherradio.substack.com or by going to our Twitter account and checking out our pinned tweet. So yeah, this has been episode 96 of the Tether Radio podcast. And we are just thanking you that you have lended.
Lent is over because it's Easter.
Ah, there you go. Did it. we are happy that you joined us for approximately an hour and a half. So yeah, get at us on any of the social platforms that you want to, and yeah, we just we really appreciate your listenership. So yeah, this has been the Tether Radio podcast. I'm Daniel.
I'm Allie.
And we thank you, dear listener, for joining us once again. Stay positive, and we look forward to talking to you next week, guys. Take it easy, friendos.
Bye.